I'm told that the 5 winners of the Blue Bunny Helmet of Hope have been announced, and it's a great program that you and Shanny have set up, and maybe you wanted to talk about that a second.
Yeah, just briefly. First of all, I just want to thank everybody for supporting the Jimmie Johnson Foundation and writing the articles and talking about the Helmet of Hope program that Blue Bunny has sponsored. It's been very successful over the years. And just to add a few more facts to what Carrie said, we had over 400,000 votes tallied over the 10 semifinalists to decide the 5 winners. That's just massive. We were so impressed by that stat, and just so thankful that people are participating, and the reach that our media center has and the racing media has, which you guys do for us. I just wanted to thank you all for that, to help raise awareness and drive so much focus to it and get 400,000 votes. So next weekend, one other quick detail is Mike Wells and I are going to do a Google Plus Hangout to talk with the 5 winners, which everybody's pretty excited about and be a lot of fun. And then I will wear the helmet at Indy on July 27th. So thank you once again, and have some fun.
Thank you very much, Jimmie. And now we'll take questions for Jimmie Johnson. Certainly, Jimmie's been around this track a few times, been in Victory Lane here. Let's talk a little bit about Talladega. If anybody has a question, raise your hand. We'll go with Tom, Allen, and Woody Kane. Tom, Allen, and Woody Kane.
Hi, Jimmie. Tom Jensen from FoxSports.com. What are you expecting in qualifying tomorrow with the new format being run for the first time on a restrictor plate track? Pack racing for more speed or smaller groups to stay out of getting in a wreck?
I don't know what's going to exactly happen, but to win the pole, you're going to have to go out there and race and pack race. And the run that you can get on a group that's football field or 2 ahead of you is so dramatic that I even think a 10 or 12 car line won't be as fast as somebody that falls way back from the pack and has a chance over a lap or 2 to pull up into the pack. So that's what every driver is going to try to do. And setting that up is going to be tough because, 1, everybody's going to be trying it, and 2, if you see someone behind you coming, why are you going to stay in the gas to help them? So, bailing out of the gas, breaking up the pack, things like that are all possible. So I don't know. It's going to be exciting. I think practice will all clearly be working on it, and then qualifying itself will be very exciting. And the thing I'm trying to come to grips with is, where do I take a larger risk? Trying to qualify well, or trying to work my way through the pack to get to the front? And we're just not sure right now what to expect, and still trying. We wanted to come here with a plan in place and how we're going to qualify, but it seems our opinions seem to change every 15 minutes, and we're going to wait until after P2 before we kind of decide what we're going to do.
Let's go to Alan, then we'll come here to Woody, and then Kelly. Go ahead, Alan.
Alan Cavana, NASCAR.com. Jimmie, Joey Logano was in here before. Both those Penske cars have wins, and they were saying the benefit of that is, they're already planning all their tests around chase tracks, and they can already start planning their cars to be ready for the chase. Not that you need any more incentive to win, but are you thinking about that added benefit when that win does come, and maybe all the Hendrick cars get those wins?
Yeah, it definitely does change the way you race, and I think with that guaranteed, or pretty much guaranteed, lock with 1 win, it lets you take 2 tires when maybe you should take 4. Try for fuel. Look at what Junior did in Las Vegas. Steve played that perfectly. Why not try? They won at Daytona. They're locked in. Let's go for a W. So I definitely agree that it gives those teams an advantage. But I knew I was going to get asked questions about this today before I came down here. And the way I see it, though, we're locked in the chase right now. If it was to end where we are in points, we're in the chase. And I've been trying to explain that to many people through interviews and other things, that sure, we want to win. We feel like we could have won a few times, but as of right now, we're locked in the chase. So I don't know what the big concern and worry is.
We'll go to Woody over here to your left, Jimmie, and then back in the back to Kelly.
Woody Kane with MRN. Jimmie, coming off a short track over here by Carrie. Coming off a short track now, super speedway, but intermediate tracks are the bread and butter of the schedule. I just wanted to ask you a little bit about Kansas next week, and specifically in your intermediate program, where you feel like you guys are right now in general.
I feel pretty good. We've had strong runs. And I think Texas, we didn't get to go very far, but through practice and qualifying, we had a lot of people concerned. led a lot at California. Vegas went well. I feel very good about our mile-and-a-half stuff. We still want to be better, and I think the 4 car has probably been the most consistent car with the most speed. But we've been in there fighting for wins, so I feel very good about that. Our Richmond specific program, it's needed work for a long time, and we just proved again last week that we still need to keep working on it.
Kelly in the back, and then Nate. We'll move up the row a little bit to Nate. Go ahead, Kelly.
Kelly Craner from Popular Speed. I'm hiding behind the cameras, Jimmie. I asked Joey Logano earlier about how plate racing has changed throughout the years. He thinks it's his opinion is because of the package has changed a lot. Curious if you agree with that, or if you've noticed any difference in the mentality of you guys as drivers, the risk versus reward, maybe playing a little bit safer, and if the aggression level has changed.
Yeah, I definitely agree that the rules package really promotes the type of racing. When we had the push drafting that we could do, you could really ride and wait and catch up at will. And track position, as a result of the rule package, didn't really mean a lot until 3 or 4 to go. It's far different than that now. You really need to take off and go from the beginning and fight to maintain track position. The one other component is the track. At Daytona, it's so much more narrow that there's even a higher premium on track position. Where here, you can get 3rd, 4th lane going. There's much more of a revolving door from the front positions on back. That there are more opportunities to go forward and also to come back. So Talladega does have its own style compared to Daytona as well.
Go to Nate Ryan and Matt in the back, and then we'll end right here with Randy. Go ahead,
Nate Ryan, USA Today Sports. Jimmie, going back to last fall's race here, I remember the next week in Martinsville, you were saying that crew guys were coming up to you and asking you, like, why did no one pull out with you and Matt when you guys tried to make that move and everybody else stayed single file for the last 14 laps? Looking back on that, do you think it'll be different this time? Do you have any explanation, however many months later? And how much of it was maybe just due to the low line didn't seem to work very well last fall?
I really feel that whichever line it is works via numbers. The lane that has the most cars is the fastest lane. It's just really how it is. If I remember right, I think the 1 car was leading, and I should have known before I pulled out. I should have looked to see who was leading, because I would have made a different decision, I believe, and stayed in line. With certain guys, they just have certain strategies of defending, and Jamie is, and there's a few others. There's nothing wrong with it at all, but that's going to be his move, and it worked very well for him. So I'm just curious why 2nd, 3rd, 4th on backs didn't try to make a move at any point in time, and I still don't have an answer or reason for it. The thing that really, I get it up until the white flag falls, but once the white is out, I still, for the life of me, don't know why no one tried to pass. We just kind of all rode around single file.
So other guys at the front would go with you, like if they were in the lead, that's kind of how it's different.
If I had a lane of 5, if I had a lane with a run and was progressing forward, I think drivers would then drop down to try to be the head of that line. But with us not progressing, I think people were like, well, why am I going to pull out of this 8th position right now and risk being 15th? So I think it's really just decisions, and every driver's thinking independently what's best for me right now, and all of those decisions together led to a single file finish.
We'll go in the back to Matt and end right here up front with Randy.
Matt Weaver, Popular Speed. When you look at what Kurt Busch is doing this entire month in May at Indianapolis, and this new championship format, and the fact that it allows you to maybe miss a race as long as you qualify or something like that, if Kurt has success in the Indy 500, do you think that would create more opportunities for Cup guys to go run that race, and would you be interested in doing that?
I think the opportunity's been there, and I'm not sure that a lot of stock car drivers have the desire to run open wheel, and that's probably been the limiting factor. I know at one point in time, there were manufacturers, supplier issues that prevented me from going. And certainly have sponsors and people to get everything approved through. And in my situation, I have a wife that would need to approve me going to Indy. We had a deal that prior to having children I could, and I didn't get my opportunity before having kids. The start time was the big problem there. You couldn't physically do both the way the start times worked out. So I hope that it encourages other. I think as a race fan, I look forward to that weekend to see who does the double and watch that much racing from Monaco all the way through to the NASCAR event. So, again, though, I think opportunities are there. A lot of it's just sponsor driven. But if any top driver from NASCAR, showed interest in Andretti Green or to, Penske or Ganassi and had the sponsorship dollars to go through with it, I think they could get a seat. I just don't know how ambitious many stock car closed body drivers are to try Indy.
Final question right here on the left, Jimmie.
Hey, Jimmie, Randy Coverts, Kansas City Star. Good to see you. I got an off-the-wall question for you.
Yeah.
Next weekend in Kansas, it's Mother's Day weekend, and we're doing a package on NASCAR moms. What'd your mom mean to you during your career coming up from the road racing all the way up to being a champion here? What's your mom's role?
Yeah, my parents together were largely responsible for my career and my love for racing. My mom, fortunately, was on board. It was just my dad's idea to take me to the racetrack. My mom was really into it, enjoyed it, even did a few little races in like the ladies division and stuff, different vehicles. So, her willingness to let me ride and compete was much appreciated. But I think my personality and the way I treat others, even the way I compete, really reflects my mom. And she's a respectful person and treat others how they treat you. A lot of those things from my mom's personality, I think, show through. And my dad certainly too, but my dad can be a little bit more stern, and even out of my brothers, I'm the most relaxed and laid back, and I guess more like my mom than my brothers are to a certain degree. So, I'm very thankful for all the sacrifices my parents made, and Mother's Day is a special day, and especially now being a parent and understanding that a little bit better, it makes me reflect back and think, all the times I was traveling the country in a 1979 Ford Econoline van with a little 12-foot trailer behind it towing motorcycles. I mean, I can't imagine parents taking off weeks at a time to take me to Oklahoma to race a dirt bike or to Tennessee, Las Vegas, all the sacrifices they made. It was pretty awesome.